Hey, Shalom, Akim. There's a Baya Allah here, the Surrogate of Yahawashi, lands paradigms, and evolve praise, honor, and glory. To Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Kahakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone, talking the truth of the well. Peace and salutations unto the shepherds that feed the sheep of Yahawah, which is the Heavenly Father's ancient Hebrew name, and the only begotten Son, who the word is going to be called Jesus Christ. Her real name in Hebrew is Yahawashi, which means he to deliver is coming to deliver the predestined elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, who consists of so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Hispanic Latinos, and Native Seminole Indians, and those who descend from those 12 that are scattered in every nation under heaven, and have mixed complexions, mixed features, speak different tongues, but spirit and bloodline goes back to those 12 tribes here in America and abroad, in Americas and abroad. Okay, so to you, Akim Agwatim, which means brothers and sisters, to you, I say Shalom, who's sincere and truly believe on the names of Yahawah and Yahawashi. Okay, so this is a real quick video going in on this interview, all right, with Kanye West and also this Candace Owens. Okay, here you have Kanye West, the big controversy over his interview on Fox News. Okay, and his partner here, Candace Owens. Okay, it says Kanye West in constant talks with Candace Owens. Friends believe she's influencing him. Now remember, these two so-called Jakes, which are sellouts, by the way, are extensions of the shirts they were all wearing. It was causing all the controversy. White Lives Matter. Okay, they're extensions. Okay, it's Candace Owens. She's known for what? Pretty much being despised by her own people because of her comments. All right, concerning why, the black community is this, why the black community is that. Okay, because she's a spokeswoman or an extension of those white lives that matter, which are the billionaires who pretty much molded her as an enemy, right, to her own people. Okay, and she uplifts this man's system. Okay, and Kanye West, all right, so much so that he's a billionaire, within this man's system. And in order to become a billionaire in this man's system, you know what you have to do. Okay, so much so that they can't do what they want to do. Now they're just pawns to those white lives that matter. All right, and this is why he mentioned Disney. He's mentioning the FDA and the medical institutions, right? Because those are lives, the billionaires that pretty much control this place. All right, and also uh, poison. Okay, the minds of the people that are here, all right, and around the world with their products and their philosophies. All right, so this is what you have. Kanye West is a false prophet. Okay, he's an extension. Both of them are extensions of the Democratic Party. Okay, so they bought and paid for it. Okay, they're gonna be considered the new beacon of light, set up as pacifists. Okay, for not only their so-called own people, right, but also these uh these poor Edomites out here, all right, that are losing everything. Okay, and that's why they're being set up as what? Extension of Trump's cabinet. All right, Trump's cabinet. Salakia, I said Democratic Party. I think Trump was a Republican, if I'm not mistaken. Salakia. But anyway, I wanted to read this real quick. It says Candace Owens tells she had no part in planning the shirts with Kanye West, which is a lie. says, nor has she been working as an advisor, saying, despite the veracity of the statement, White Lives Matter, it is patently false that ye and I, now, the fact that he went from Yeezy, all right, to Ye, that goes to show you who's in control of him, who's in control of Kanye. All right, Ye. Remember, he had released a message, I think, on Twitter saying that he's gonna go DEFCON 3 on the so-called, small hatters or whatnot. But his very name, Ye, that's Yiddish. Okay, it shows you he's bought and paid for. Okay, he's following orders. All right, this is all a distraction, it's a psyop. Okay, Ye and I. And then when you go back to Ye, it's really supposed to mean Yah, which means he. And the Heavenly Father's name is Yahawah. Other people call him Yehoshua and all these other names, but that's not his name. It's close. But Ye is Yah, meaning he. So he's being set up as some sort of black messiah. All right, that program is still on. That program is still in play. Okay, but this time they can't sneak it on you because they're being exposed. The white lives that matter that's behind these two. So now they have to be more open with who they use now because they're being exposed. All right, and as we should know it, even these Edomites here in America, they're not listening to those who are the figureheads that's set up in front of them to direct their steps within this kingdom. Like I would say, like Fauci, okay, and more so your president, okay, and his mental state. No one's listening to the authority of this place anymore because they see the state that they're in, all right, and the state that this place is in because of it's a representation. So now they're just saying, F it. We're just gonna use these celebrities to push forth with our agenda because we can't do it anymore because nobody's listening to the government. All right, it's been polls out there saying that they want to what's that? How would you say it? Get rid of Biden and his cabinet. Et cetera, et cetera. You know, so they have to use these people, and these people really have no choice. So you have this guy, he's growing a beard now, you know, trying to seem righteous. He's speaking the right things, going into the Bible, as a conservative Christian, all right? But he's bringing up the blacks as the so-called as Jews. Remember, he's already seen as a bug out. So really, this is an attempt to make those who speak the truth, the men of the Lord, uh, deem us as crazy. Okay, he already has that stigma upon him. Because remember, Kanye West, though he's a damn asshole, he's a creation. Okay, so he's with the program. Your modern days, Stephen and Stephanie. Like you have your Karens and Darrens. Well, the upper echelon of our people, as far as the Negroid tribes, here you got Stephen and Stephanie. Okay, they playing their roles, being wicked. Okay, now it says that ye and I were planning it for weeks, as you claim in your story. As you will recall from my interview with Tucker Carlson, I had no idea I would be wearing the t-shirt until I arrived in Paris as a guest to Yee's fashion show. Yeah, bullshit. You see how they telling themselves they said they was planning it for weeks. Okay? It's not something that just came about. Alright? So really this video is for, you new listeners out there. If you come across this video, to not be how would you say it, move to and fro wherever you want a doctrine, especially, guys like this, because he has a certain status within the society that he should be listened to. Okay, this guy is an extended mouthpiece of those white lives. Okay, that caused all the stuff that happened, in 2020. You know, before that, the civil rights movement, the BLMs. Okay, so-called slave master. That's an old term, but they still exist. Okay, they're here today. All right, these are these token Negroes, as it will call them. So, like I said, I'm not gonna read this whole thing. I just want to get a few scriptures and close it out. All right. Let me see this right here. Yep. Yeah, yep. So blacks to exit the Democratic Party. I was correct. All right. So yeah, it's a lot. And this is the kind of personality that extrovert personality he always had. All right. This is Kanye West. I am Walt Disney. I am Steve Jobs. He's always been like this. Okay. The scriptures say, "Envy not thou, your oppressor, and choose none of his ways." And it's pretty evident he envies his oppressor. Okay, so much so that he wants to be them. So now he's this multi-billionaire because of those white lives. All right, Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, these warlocks. Okay, especially Walt Disney, pedophilia and all that stuff that's being exposed. All right, so now they need a new face, and it's gonna be the Israelite face, a Jake. Okay, and that's what they're doing. Old bait and switch, but that's not gonna work either. All right, so I didn't really want to do a video on this. I didn't know it was gonna be that much of a thing on the news. But once you saw these other celebrities come out, you know, about that whole DEF CON against the small hatters, I said, oh my goodness, you can't see that this is scripted. You need to work on your how would you say it? Your spiritual discernment. All right, I'm talking about for those that are already in the truth. All right, so let me see. Remember, because that was something that the brother said as well. That he's part of what this so-called cancel culture. And there was a guy that made a video, I think last year, about cancel culture. It's really a practice uh, by the elites uh, of those who they want to eliminate because they come up against what their this new transition into the new world order. Okay, they do it through the media, etc. The defamation. But ultimately, when that time comes, when they come down, have a great wrath because they know they have but a short time. All right, it's to eliminate them. Okay, but Kanye West is on multi-billion-dollar platform media shows, scripted, bought, and paid for. All right, they would never let that just slip out on Fox News, CNN, or any of those shows, unless it was being backed by those same white lives that control the media, same white lives that control Hollywood, same white lives that control the industry, same white lives that control all your gangs and all the drugs that's being peddled in, etc. All of that, those white lives, the white lives that lie to our people, get them to sell out, and then they want to kill themselves. All right, or to the point where they fear this man because they sold their soul. All right, which is the judgment of the Lord, but ultimately that's who we're dealing with. These rings, okay, that Disney was a part of, etc. The whole Epstein Island, you know, or places like that. All right. So let me see. This is for yay. All right. We go to Deuteronomy. Now this is speaking about Martin Luther King. Okay. But they trying to set up another Martin Luther King. All right. Because remember, BLM was the civil rights movement, the second push. Okay, but it kind of failed. It failed this time because the first one was integration. To where they pretty much destroyed everything that pretty much we had over here, and as the poor, the Negro, the Native American, or Latino that was here already. Okay, they integrated, they infiltrated and took over, and then all their philosophies just pushed on us. Okay, starting with the welfare system, the women's liberation movement, the abortions. Okay, all those things took place. And this is why the hoods or the mind state of this so-called Generation Z is the way it is. Because these were the plans of their enemy through what? Integration, infiltration. So now, what came of that was Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, your pacifiers. Okay, but come to find out, all of these guys, and they was part of that. You know, uh, the black boule, as you would call them, they were part of these institutions that Esau controls. And what came after that? The pride agenda. It was mixed in together when Jesse Jackson came around. So it's the same thing. They spewing what they've done in the past. Because this time a lot of things are not working. So this is their second attempt. All right. Because they're losing, they're being exposed, like I said earlier. But this is Deuteronomy 13 and 5. It says, I don't want to read the whole thing, but it says, and that prophet or that dream of dreams shall be put to death, Salakia, because he hath spoken to turn you away from the Lord your power. All right. Yahawah, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee, Salakia, out of the way, which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in, so shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. Okay, now this, like I said, it's just talking about Martin Luther King back then, that dreamer of dreams. That's why when he made that last speech, okay, he said he made pretty much a mistake and let his people into a burning building. And after that, they got rid of him. They gonna do that with Yeezy and all the rest of them. Okay, after they use him, they gonna get rid of him. All right, because ultimately the Lord controls death, not the devils. Okay, he's just an instrument. Okay, what else I got? And ultimately, this is going on too. This is linked up. This says Mark 13. I say in 5. I started 5. It says, and Yahawashi, it says Jesus here, but his name is Yahawashi, answering them, began to say, take heed lest any man deceive you. Okay, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, says Christ here, and shall deceive many. Okay, these are future prophecies. Right, Martin Luther King was one of those. Okay, that, like I said, that Judas and the Black Messiah project. Okay, they made a movie about it, but they're still going to use it. Okay, because many of our people are still asleep. It's just not as asleep as deep as they were back then. All right, but this so-called what woke agenda, which they control. Those white lives that matter, right? But it says, and when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? This is going on right now. It says, "Be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be." So it has to happen, but the end shall be not yet. Okay, you can read the rest. All right, and okay, what else? I got this here, Revelation 11, and they're doing this because of this as well, because they couldn't stop the awakening of the prophets. Okay, starting with Abba Bivens, all right, High Priest Ariel, King Marshall, Elder Yahawah, the elders from back then to our elders today, all right, and Greatmillstone, and those who teach the likewise doctrine. They couldn't stop it. That's what that civil rights movement was really targeted for, because they knew the scriptures. It says, and after 3 days and a half, this is Revelation 11 and 11, the spirit of life from God, which means the powers, the angels, entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them who saw them. Right, and those that 3 days and a half, it's talking about the 350 years, because after the completion, when all the tribes went into slavery, mainly the head tribe, so-called Judah, the Negro, that's when that those days were being counted. All right, 600, what was it, 1620, if I'm not mistaken. And then when Alba Bivens came around, he came around the very late 60s, which was what, 350 years. Okay, that's those 3 days and a half. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that real quick, that they couldn't stop it. So now they see that the influence of this Israelite thing of ours has grown, how would you say it, exponentially, which they're not going to say it, all right, according to Vocab Malone and the statistics that he brought out, that millions of, mainly just the Negro tribes. We ain't talking about those who they confused with the Seminoles and Native American tribes that might favor or look like the so-called Negro tribes, which are their brothers. Okay, I'm not talking about that, but as a collective, they know that they're Israelites. Okay, so they couldn't stop it. So now Esau's just getting sloppy. And that's what you see. Okay, let me see if I have. This is Matthew's 23 and 9. This is going into just a general heads up in the spirit. That's why this is why Yahawashi said it. It says, but be not ye called rabbi, for one is your master, even Yahawashi, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your father which is in heaven. And his very name that they cut short to ye, that's pretty much what he's saying. Because the Heavenly Father's name is what? He to be. Okay, they know that. It's he to be. He's named himself the Father, which it doesn't surprise him, because he comes from what? That line of what? Jay-Z, which he started calling himself Jehovah or Hova or Hove. Okay, then he had his I think his wife, Beyonce, or Old Bay or something like that. She had something like that. And down the line you got Yeezy. Okay. So it's not surprising. And these are supposedly your great billionaires, okay, amongst the so-called black community, other than Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Dre. Let me see. Now, like I said, if he's somewhat sincere, like I said, Yeezy, we don't know. I don't know if he's sincere or not, but he's bought and paid for his control. So this is for him or anybody like him. It says, no servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other. And that's what you see. You can't be a multi-billionaire on their platforms and then talking about going after the same people who's paying you, all right, to be on their platform, all right, to come up against them. Man, please, you have to see down the line. It says, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, which is money. And a lot of our people within their broken state, the influence of these wicked celebrities, their worship has become money. All right. So that's why they listen to these celebrities. And that's in Ecclesiastes. It's so much, man. Uh, Ecclesiasticus 13 and 23 says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look, what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. All right. If he's been anointed. All right. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumbled, they will help to overthrow him. All right. Calling us what rapists, bums, pedophiles, or whatever you want to call us, right? You don't know what you're talking about. You use a gay, you hate women, you know, all this bullshit. All right. But all the things we're speaking are coming to pass. Ain't that funny? And Kanye hasn't said a thing, really. So let me see if anything you read more for yourself. Ecclesiasticus 19 to 26 is a good one. Right. So that's all I want to share with you, Akim out there and Akim out there about what's going on in the news. Like I said, just wait and see what happens next. Okay. So I hope this video is edifying to the elect. Till next time, Shalom. Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Barakatham. Till next time, Shalom.